Hey everyone, I hope that you are doing great. I'm doing good today. I'm like for real just sitting on my ground outside in the backyard. So we're doing good. Also, I just wanted to come and just give you a quick encouragement of something that God put on my heart. Something that I've been personally dealing with is feeling unqualified when Jesus has called us and He has sent us. In Luke 9, He calls His disciples and then He sends them out and He gives them power and authority to preach the word, to heal all diseases, and to cast out demons. And Jesus calls us and He also sends us. And what happens is when He sent out His disciples, miracles happened. People were healed of sicknesses, of all diseases. People were healed from being possessed by demons. And I know this is crazy heavy, but it's true. Miracles are huge things, and what happens is miracles always point to Jesus. Miracles cause people to believe and get saved, and that is the number one threat to the darkness, number one threat to the enemy. And so what happens is that is what the enemy wants to do, is he wants to come at us and he wants to use tactics to distract us from our calling of what Jesus has called us to do, which is to go out and preach the gospel to all people. And so there's 3 tactics here that I want to give you. If you're dealing with this stuff, just know that the enemy always first wants to twist the truth. He'll say, yeah, you're called, but you're not ready, or you're not good enough for the call. Or he'll get you so stuck in your condemnation and guilt that you legitimately just push off your call because you don't think you're good enough. Number 2 is that's the second thing. You get in your condemnation and you get in your guilt, which always leads you to feeling unqualified. And it's awesome because this is the great thing, is when you get stuck in your condemnation, you get stuck in all your failures, you get stuck in all of just your mishaps. It says this in Romans 8, therefore there's no more condemnation in those who believe in Christ Jesus. So first off, Jesus, what He did for you 2,000 plus years ago, makes you stand with no condemnation, guilt, or shame. So don't let that hold you back. And the second thing is we don't have to qualify ourselves, because it says this in 1 Corinthians 3:5. It says God is the one who qualifies us, not you, not your goodness, not your greatness, not all your strengths, and not even your failures. They don't even qualify you, but what Jesus did for you 2,000 plus years ago qualifies you now 2,000 plus years later. Come on, somebody. And number 3, the tactic that the enemy uses is that he causes us then to get stuck. So first he says, hey, you're not good enough for your calling. So he twists the truth, saying, yeah, you're called, but you're not good enough. The second thing is to remind you of all of your insecurities and all your condemnation. And then number 3, that leads you into getting stuck, which I talked about in my last video about getting stuck. When God's called us to go, we can't go when we're stuck. And when we get stuck, what happens is it paralyzes our faith, because we start to see all of our insecurities, and our insecurities paralyze us from doing what God calls us to do, because we don't think we're good enough. We feel that we don't have what it takes. Like I said, that we're unqualified, and we cannot step out when we're stuck in our insecurities. The whole basis of faith, everyone, is that we would not step out in our own ability, but we're stepping out in God's ability. And God can do great things today, forever. He used to do them back in the day. He's going to do them in the future. He's going to do them today. We just have to step out and go and stop getting caught up in the tactics of the enemy. And I'm just encouraged by that myself, because I've been dealing with insecurities lately, and insecurities always limit me and limit God, because we're not trusting in God's ability, we're trusting in our own ability. So step out today. Know that God has called you, know that God has sent you, and know that the enemy always tries to distract you from that. But right believing always leads to right living. Stand up in God's grace today, because of what Jesus did for you on the cross is a great thing that causes us to stand in front of God, spot and blemish free, without any fault, that we are holy and blameless in His sight. And it says that in Colossians 1:23. So don't give up. Stand up in God's grace. God's grace is not just to save you, but God's grace is to empower you to live the life that God's called you to live. So go out there and live it. And I hope you guys have a great day.